We'll have to do that one next time, probably. I don't know if we'll have time for all that. But anyways, do you want to start with the Mega Drive Mini? Have you even seen this at all? Have you seen... This is the second one. They had one already.
No, I haven't. The only thing that I know about it is when you told me that it's only coming out in Japan.
So far. And I kind of want it. And it went up for pre-order, and I was like, oh, I kind of want it, but I also don't have money. There's a couple reasons I want it, but I'll go over the initial list. So, I mean, the thing about these Mega Drive, or, well, any of the mini consoles, and if you don't know, the first one came out in 2019. So this was, like, post-At-Games, because At-Games used to do the Mega Drive, like, the crappy little minis they had, and they weren't very good. And when Nintendo did their minis, Sega kind of put some more money into it, got a better company to do it. And so now the first Mega Drive Mini was pretty successful. My ring light is like... I think
If
the light...
These are the games that come on it that I'm looking at right now, there's only a few on here that really speak out to me that I would be interested in having, because a lot of this just looks like... a good chunk looks like puzzle games.
Yeah. So... The initial, and I think you guys can see this, right? You should be able to. Hi, Gabe. Where's Buck Bumble News? Nowhere.
Oh, this one's gonna have 50 games. Oh, I'm only looking at like 10 of them then.
Yeah, so this is gonna have 50 games. A couple weeks ago, this was June 3rd, at least this article. So that's why this is old. This part's old news. They announced Bonanza Bros, Fantasy Zone, not a big deal. Magical, Tarurutokun, I don't know that game, probably Japanese only. Mansion of Hidden Souls, Popful Mail, Shining Force CD, Shining in the Darkness, Sylphied, Sonic CD, Thunder Force 4, and Virtua Racing. As you can see here, the difference with the Mega Drive Mini this time is that they're adding Sega CD games to it. And the biggest one in here is definitely Shining Force CD. If you do not know... Shining Force CD is so expensive, and it's one of the few.
How much is it?
Shining Force CD. Well, let's go. Let's do a little. Let's do a little nice eBay look.
I am curious.
Quick eBay look here. Shining Force CD. I gotta find the American version, and that's the other thing is like this Mega Drive Mini right now is only a Japanese version. So if the Americans get the Mega Drive Mini and they put Shining Force CD on this, you bet your ass I'm getting it. Shining Force CD, here's one for $350. Here's one for $200. Here's one for, well, that's great. We're not going to bother with the wad of shit. And that's all I can find on eBay. There's really not a lot of copies of it. You can find plenty of Japanese copies for like 50 to 100. But Shining Force is a strategy JRPG, so you really need the text for a lot of those things. So that was the one game that really, like, I was like, and made me want it. Then, as of the 24th, so 5 days ago, they announced the next, I don't know, like 10 games, something here. So they have Night Striker, Starblade, Ninja Warriors, Outrun, Afterburner 2, Splatterhouse 2, that's kind of a big one. Splatterhouse games are, Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water, Mega Panel, Puzzle and Action. Columns 3. Columns is an underrated Tetris clone. And Star Mobile. A lot of people will be excited.
Games are going to be on the Sega CD? Like, which they don't specify. I think
you just kind of have to know. I think Starblade and Night Striker might be Sega CD, but I can't confirm that. I don't know my Sega CD history that well.
Yeah, because from what I'm looking at right here, the biggest reason why I would get this if it came out in America would be specifically for the CD games, because I already have a couple of Genesis collections on Xbox One and PS4. Like I have a bunch of these games already.
Night Striker is a Sega CD game. That is a
2 on the Genesis.
Is what? Oh, Splatterhouse 2. I think that's a Genesis game. Yeah.
Okay.
Splatterhouse was never on the. Splatterhouse is actually more known for, and that's another expensive Genesis one in America, by the way. Here's a 300, here's a 250. So that was why that was kind of a big deal as well. Because that's the thing with these minis is they always have that one game that's like super duper rare. But that being said, let me go back real quick. Afterburners are fun too.
I would also need to know what games were on the first one to even, because when I'm looking through this, I'm having games in my mind of like, why isn't this in here? When it could have already been on the first one. So
right. Well, the first one was more typical. The Sega.
The first game that came to mind that I'm not seeing on here so far, and they could add it if it's not already on the first one, is Streets of Rage.
I'm sure that was on the first one.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 2 was, and it was in all countries. That's the only one. But to be quite honest, if you're only going to have a Streets of Rage game, that's the one you would want, because 3 is not good, and 1
No,
is.
it's not.
1 is. I love the first one, but it's not. Also, the first one had Alicia Dragoon, which was kind of a big deal too, because that's another expensive, like underrated, kind of an odd game. But the first one had more of the stuff that you expected. Like it had your Sonics, it had your Alex Kidd, Altered Beast. So this one is gonna really go out there and have some Revenge of Shinobis. What? We didn't get Revenge of Shinobi in America? What the fuck? Why? Anyway, Vector Man was actually on the first one. Yu Yu Hakusho was in the Japanese version. That's neat.
That's weird. And that was on the Genesis?
Yeah, it was a fighting game.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, what kind of fucking game was that?
The list is really like different actually compared to like maybe the Nintendo one where it's like 1 or 2 games. Like this is really different. Like some of these are really like America got Kid Chameleon, no one else did. Japan got Landgrisser 2. So I want theirs, you know. So yes, it was but it was pretty successful, and I'm trying to think. So the last thing I want to mention, the rumor right now, and boy, how much does that go for? The rumor right now is that they might be trying to get Snatcher on there, which is considered one of the better Sega CD games and goes for oftentimes $1,000. That would be
just a game that is considered one of the better ones.
If you don't know Snatcher, it was actually made by Hideo Kojima. It's his game.
Oh, that's why.
It's a big deal. It was I mean, to say it was a big deal at the time, no, not really. But to say it was like an underrated like cult hit, like absolutely, people love Snatcher. It's such a different game. It's actually it's a visual novel. It's like a graphic adventure.
Here, yeah, it says it's an adventure role-playing game, visual novel, and a light gun shooter.
Yeah, and it just hasn't been available. Like there's like no availability.
It's trapped on its system.
What's that?
It's trapped on its system.
Yeah. Basically, I don't think it's ever been put on anything else. Has it?
It's been put on. Oh, really? Apparently, it's been put on Sega Saturn, PlayStation, Sega CD, and PC.
But in Japan, because in America we only got it on the CD.
Oh.
And that's the problem, is that it's a graphic novel. So again, like, so as of right now, if that were to go on there, people would buy this. I mean, I think people will already buy this, but I want it for Shining Force.
Wow. I'm looking at some of the images from Snatcher, and that game was definitely censored.
Oh yeah, no, there's
Holy
breasts
fuck.
at one point in the game.
Yeah,
that was censored
I'm looking
in the
at that
American
picture
version,
right now.
Yeah,
I'm seeing that right now.
And there's violence and stuff like it's a little of a bit of an adult graphic novel.
It reminds me of Blade Runner.
It is a cyberpunk game, I believe. I think that's right. It is a cyberpunk style game, so that would make sense.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, on the cover it actually says Cyberpunk Adventure.
Snatcher looks really fucking cool. I've never played it because obviously it's so expensive. I'm sure I'm sure you can get an emulated version online, but I just haven't.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, I'm seeing this fucking violence that you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, no,
Oh my god.
I don't know if I should put it on the stream. I don't know what Twitch is. I won't put it. Just go look up Snatcher. It's not like awful. It's all pixelated. I mean, but you know, it's still
the idea behind it.
there. Yeah, I don't know Twitch's rules enough to know if I should put that up for you guys.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went hard.
Donkey Kong news, not yet, Gabe. Anything that you want to see, add? Do you care? Would you buy it at this point? Do you? I just wanted to bring it up because it is something that personally I like having Sega stuff, and I was like, you know what? There is some interesting things in here that, if this were to get some bigger news, it would be cool to mention it.
Potentially, I would say I'm leaning more towards yes, but I would need to see more CD games announced for it.
I actually think so too. And honestly, just having a CD. Even though the Sega CD was shit, just having all the good ones. Time Gal would be a good one, I think.
Around for it, instead of needing the actual.
I wonder how much Time Gal goes for, actually.
You had to make for it.
Time Gal. How much does that shit go for? Okay. How much does Time Gal generally go for? Let's look at some eBay prices. It's a little cheaper than one, but that's another like $200 that I don't know if people generally think it's good. Time Gal is kind of like a
I don't even know what that game is.
It is a what's that fucking game called? Like Dragon's Lair style,
Oh.
It's like but it features like an anime girl, kind of skimpy
it's like
clothes.
Real time, decision making, basically like
yeah.
Visual.
It's actually a Taito game too. I did not know that. But yeah, Time Gal was another one that a lot of people would probably have some nostalgia for if they got to play it back in the day.
Funny, based on the cover art, I would say it looks like it's something more like Highlight.
Highlight.
That's like the vibe that I'm getting from that game from the cover.
I actually don't see. Oh no, I was gonna say, is this not the full list? Because I was gonna say I know Sonic CD's on there, but yeah, Sonic CD, so that's cool. Anyway, and there's like little commercials for it that I won't play, but I do kind of want this, but the problem is I want all this, but I want it in the American version, and I'm like, if they brought the American version, are they gonna put in Shining Force CD?
Yeah.
That one they probably would. What was the other one we were talking about? Snatcher, would they put that in? I don't know. You'd hope so. I don't know. So, anyway, I got nothing else to add to that. I just thought it would be kind of